Okay, everybody hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, pray to God and my dearest Almighty Dad that every single person who has joined here should be bestowed with all the knowledge capital and the strength that is needed for surmounting all the challenges that could possibly arise in their life. I also pray God that each and every student should get the courage, should get the kind of the strength, and should get the agility to see himself or herself completely intact with the society's expectations. I pray to God and Dad that every single student who has joined here has got equilibrium amount of resources, knowledge, and social support system for keeping them so much rigid and with all the grit to cater the needs of the society by shining in their respective occupational domains. Most importantly, I pray God that every single student should be a good citizen, should be courageous enough, and a humanitarian driven human being. God bless all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, so today is May 31st, 2021, the final day of the month of May and the final day of the CRS system that we are holding up for the past almost about 50 days of our summer fest. And the other people have finished their CRS evaluation, the Viva Voce examination, and now the three members who are supposed to have the Viva Voce evaluation are Kalpita Sri, Mitra, and Dakshin Siddharth. So, without taking further, let us invite Kalpita Sri to the hot chair. Kalpita, get ready.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
All the
Mitra.
best, Kalpita.
All the best,
Thank you,
Kalpit.
Mitra. Thank
All
you,
the
Ram.
best, Doctor.
Thank you, Shobha.
All the best, Kalpita.
Thank you, Kar. Thank you, Krish.
So, the person who is in the hot chair, Kalpita Sri, has joined in the month of June, and it's almost 1 year since Kalpita Sri has joined this MS evening sessions. So the first and foremost question that I ask Kalpita is about in the month of September, from the start of September, that was the direct session 2.0, that is in 2020, we started in the month of June when you joined, and then we went for a hiatus from June 26th to September 2020, we went for a break, we were only having the online sessions. In September, we again started having our direct classes. My question to you is, what were the routine events that were happening from September 10th to October 25th?
Okay, sir. Sir, from September, if I am not wrong, from September 21, we went to online format, sir. And it was my first experience in online form, sir. What we would actually do is you started giving us physical games, sir. We have to, first 5 minutes, we go around our house, sir, and walk very fastly, sir. And then we went for visualization, sir. You give us commands and we'll visualize whatever we want, sir, which we right now are doing as guided meditation, sir. In the while walking itself, we will visualize all those, sir. And the second part is, sir, we have to connect the physical game with our mental abilities, sir. We have to collect some few of the objects in the collect and connect game, sir, and we have to create a skit or make a story based on that with our teammates, sir.
Okay, all right. So Second half of the question, okay, Dakshin, I'm coming back to you. Second half of the question, Kalpita, is can you list down or itemize the activities that we had in the month of September? Immediately we resumed the direct classes in September. Yes. In September, in the direct classes, what were the activities? And I want you to line up those activities in sequence. So keep all your hands reserved. Okay, Mitra, Dakshin Siddharth, Vishnupriya, Brinda. You will be given the chance only if there is a mistake in Kalpita Sri's answer. Kalpita, go.
Sir, in the month of September, it was fully of creative skits, sir. It started, we had a lot of creative skits, sir. Green Opal skit, Boomerang skit, Mitra's Bookman skit, and we had a lot more, sir. Even Reshwaranas was also added, sir. His idea was bringing out emotions as people, sir. We also had that, sir. And Ritya Nitish and Prabhu Adyas was stopped in the mid, sir. Mridubhashnaka and Vishnupriya together brought up a skit, sir. Keetanaka made a horror skit, sir. So lot of skits happened with various genres, sir. And also we had one soldier game, sir.
Right answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mitra.
Very
Thank
well
you,
done,
Vishnu.
Kalpita.
Thank you,
Kalpita's
Brinda.
5 marks in the hot chair. So 5 marks added in Kalpita's credit rating system sheet. Second hot chair question for Kalpita. In the month of January, in one particular activity, in the direct form class, we were having a lot of confusion in terms of the learning. I am asking one question about the learning. One important person in MS evening session is speaking something rubbish about the learning. And I become very wild that the learning has to be taken very seriously. I, in fact, condemn the person, and then the whole team stumbles in the learning, in giving explanation. I get totally disappointed, and I end up giving minus to the total team. The team was about to win, but because of this non-compliance and negligible attitude, the team lost. And the learning discussion was cancelled after that. So, which activity am I speaking about? And what was the learning that I was very, very particular about? Why this entire drama happened? I have already given you the hint that all this happened in the month of January 2020. You were very much part.
Okay, sir.
Yes. While Kalpita is taking the time, anybody volunteering? Dakshin Siddharth. Make sure you are not still in the hot chair. So if you are giving a wrong answer, you might get minus. I said expect the unexpected. Kalpita,
Sir,
time.
okay, sir. Sir, it was one particular game that I remember, sir. We had three teams, sir. It was Team Krishwan, sir. Team Krishwan and one online team, sir, and one another team, sir. In which Pranav was part of, sir. I saw it in a video, sir. He was getting scolding, sir. And Krishwan later corrected him, sir. So I think that is the one, sir.
Right answer. Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mitra.
Very well
well
done,
done,
Kalpita.
Okay,
Thank you,
Kalpita.
sir.
இந்த கங்க்ராச்சுலேட் பண்றது கொஞ்சம் நிறுத்தி வைங்க. That takes a lot of time. நான் சொல்லும்போது நீங்க கங்க்ராச்சுலேட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. Not all the time. Wait. Because direct இருந்ததுன்னா பரவாயில்ல. Online it becomes a very big disturbance. Wait until I give you to the command. So Kalpita, your points will get complete only when the learning is said. Yes, of course, you are getting 2 points for revealing the correct answer. But what was the learning that you were so particular about? Yes, that you mentioned. But I cannot mention the name louder because it's very much here. So, what is the learning?
Sir, we had the simulation round in that, sir, and it was creativity, sir. And from that particular incident, sir, if one of our teammate goes wrong, it is our responsibility as a team member, as a leader, to correct that person, sir. But at the same time, it should not be so harsh, sir. We have to make sure that all our team members are in right path, sir, or else will be fetched with minus, sir. And everybody's hard work will go in vain, sir. That is what my learning in that particular incident, sir.
Simulation was the mistake the person committed. That was on the early stages of bringing the concept called as simulation, where I wanted people to see the reality into their mind, and when the person missed out seeing the entire reality properly, the person got blasted. And that was the learning system, and we foregone the learning system itself, and then we immediately jump to the next activity. Good answer, Kalpita, 5 marks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mitra.
So the bonus acquiring people are not getting chances because she's been giving the right answers. Now, question number 3 for Kalpita. Tell me all the activities in proper sequence for the month of November.
Okay, so 1 minute, sir. So should I say, sir?
Yes.
Sir, in the month of November, the continuation of skits also happens, sir. And we had one Meet the Night series, sir, that is Pranav's uncle, sir. A soldier game was conducted, sir, and simulation was also conducted, sir. Then live game, sir, in which me and Mitra were fortunately part of, sir. It was, but we lost the game, sir. We had a lot of difference between our team and the opponent team, sir. We also had a soldier game, sir, and we made a lot of presentations in the month of November, sir. We were also given presentations on the month of November, sir.
Right. In the month of November, there were 2 activities in which you were a leader. And name those. I mean, in the month of November, you became you took the first ever leadership stance in the direct format. Before that, you took the leadership stance only in the online format. I made you the leader in the direct format for the first time in the month of November. And previously, I made you as a leader, but that was only for a short extent. But for 3 days consecutively, one activity was happening and you were a leader. Name the activity and who won that contest.
Sir, in the month of November, election took place, sir. Me and Mitra were the election commission, sir, and election for peer panel took place, sir. And one more activity is concentration and retention, sir, in which me, Mitra, Vedavarshan, Nagulan, and Hariharnana were part of, sir. I think we won that match, sir.
Okay, right answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mitra.
But this is a long question. Your question is not over. Listen to me. The third section of the question. You and a player in MS evening session started your account with 100 marks minus. When did it happen? Why did it happen? And what was the learning from that?
Sir, I still remember the date, sir. It was Jan 9th, sir. Me and Dakshina were team, sir. Every team for itself, sir. The activity was. And me and Dakshina did not take the cup for what you have to give, sir. We completed the presentation, and even in the mid, we did not remember, sir. Right after that, I did not forget anything, sir. Wherever I am going, sir, even if from home to a shop, I'll take everything, sir. That is one learning there, sir. And we started completely with the 100 mark minus, sir. But one good thing is we won the game, sir. In the mid, Sandeep and also joined, sir.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me the 2 activities in which I gave the fantasy team granting. And the fantasy team granting was putting all the favorites together, and one person got jolted and he cried in front of the newcomer, and the newcomer was in his team, and he was soaking and crying, and that was the first time he was soaking and crying, and he had a special occasion back at home, and the person unfortunately cried, but I said a brutal statement that I am not worried about his crime because he deserves it. Where Dakshin Siddharth, after 3 months of joining that particular MS evening session, gave me a very kind of strange look that this man is very, very barbaric. I was able to read Dakshin Siddharth's mind when I said that statement. What was the occurrence? Who cried? And what was the learning? And I said, I'm not worried about the person crying because the person is roasted for a particular value system that I want everybody to learn. So what was the learning that I wanted to infringe there?
Sir, first I would like to mention the learning, sir. If it is a team, sir, everybody around can be part of, sir, and it is your decision to make who want to be in the team, sir. And we are no one to say we don't want that person. It would be better if we have that person, sir. One thing is that we have to be happy with whatever we have, sir. And together with synergy, if we work hard, we'll definitely be able to win that task or even life, sir. One thing I remember, sir, but I'm not sure whether it's right or wrong, sir. Anas was a newcomer, sir, and it was every team for it was since 1 month he joined, I believe, sir. Every team for itself activity, everybody were given the person, sir. But when Anas was given to a person, that person gave a strange look, sir, and that person did not want Anas to be part of his team, sir. But later, the person somehow managed and came with good scores, sir.
Well, Kalpita, the learning that you mentioned, I'm happy about it, but the answer is wrong. So
Okay, sir.
I'll come back to you. So Dakshin Siddharth first raised hand and then Mitra. Or you first raised hand?
Sir, before Dakshina raised, when you started asking the question, I raised, sir.
So I'll come back to you, Dakshin Siddharth. Once again. What, Aswathaman?
Sir, the activities, sir.
Come back to you, Mitra first.
Sir, it happened in June, sir. The activity's name was Intellectual Adventures, sir. So Kalpitaka was part of my team and I was the leader for the team, sir. I literally, to be honest, I literally cried for, that was the first time I ever cried for losing, sir, losing the activity, sir. The person you mentioned who cried was Nagalarana, sir. The newcomer was Mridushteka, sir. Mridushteka was part of their team, sir. Actually, Krishnan, Kalpitaka, myself, Brindaka, and one more person were in one team where the other, that even Dakshin, yes sir, even Dakshinanna was part of their team. So Dakshina and Dakshina mentioned a statement in the group, Vata Raja, Vata Varva, like that, and we started laughing, sir. And on that day, sir, in a round, sir, we had this one, sir, crisis handling, sir. That is, you will be saying something and one team has to speak in favor of it, while the other team will have to speak not in favor of that, sir. Even Brindaka was scolded for speaking. The online class is very helpful, sir. And on the day, sir, Krishnan, on winning that particular round, sir, started jumping, sir. And Nagalarana, thinking that it's a game, he said it's very irritating, sir, and that annoyed you a lot, sir. And you started scolding him, sir, and that's where he cried, sir.
He called him Fatso.
Yes, sir.
He called Krishnan Fatso. Yes, sir. And I was about to slap him. So.
In the three teams where there.
The learning.
Yes, sir. Three teams were there, sir. Sir, whatever things we have to show that excitement, sir. If we show that excitement, others will be knowing that how much we love or how much fondness we have towards that object, sir. And we should not, even if we make a mistake, we should deliberately accept that, sir. Even if we will have to confess that, okay, we have did this mistake, sir.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
So Kalpita, this is the right answer. Do you get it?
Yes, sir. Very well done, Mitra.
Dakshin, addition.
Sir, yes, sir. On 21st June, sir, it was a round called Opinion Shuttle, sir. It was in an activity called Speak to Peak and Walk the Talk, sir. And in that particular round, it was divided into two, sir. One was a presentation round, sir, and it was team versus team, sir. in that particular round, what happened was we won, sir. But in the next round was a physical round, sir, where it was the cup carrying game along with the maze, and that team, the other team won, sir. And Naglan was in my team, sir. So Krishwan jumped immediately after the other team won, sir. So Naglan called it irritating, and he also mentioned the term which you used, sir. So as a result, on 25th of June, you said you sent an official message stating that no more fantasy teams will be discussed, sir. Everything will be decided by you.
Good. So Mitra and Dakshin get point. Aswathaman, why you keep raising hand? What is it?
Sir, the activity that I thought was sir, sir, one day I got scoldings from me because that I did not acknowledge your messages and uh, got the and give respect, sir.
No. That incident was not even in my mind. This question is set for Kalpita and you are not even part of MS evening session during that time. So சம்பந்தமே இல்லாம நீ ஏதாவது ஒன்று சொன்னீனா I don't think I will be able to give mark. That incident, what you are saying is another incident, but the question was not related with that. What Mitra and Dakshin Siddharth mentioned happened in June, and you were part of MS evening session only in February 2021, so you don't have any connection. So Kalpita also mentioned about Anas. அதை நான் ராமன் சொல்லிட்டேன், மறுபடியும் நீ மார்க் ஏதோ கிடைக்குன்ட்டு மறுபடியும் நீ ஆக்டிவிட்டி சொல்லாத, no use. So Mitra and Dakshin get the mark for it. But Kalpita, for the previous question, she gets 5 marks. And Dakshin Siddharth gets 2. Mitra gets 2. So far, since the answers were so right, Kalpita has not earned any penalty. So let's move on. Let's go to the next question. So Kalpita, the next question for you is, in which particular activity you were so confused in writing the numbers down and you made a very big flaw in the numbers and scoring and financial criteria recording and all that. That has really led your team to almost get to the verge of defeat, but then later you picked up by talking to your friend, getting all the information, and then you put a lot of homework and then you came out proper. The next day you were warned and you were given a piece of advice rather, that you have to be really good in bookkeeping. And from then onwards, you had a lot of sit-right attitude in bookkeeping and mistakes were reduced. Which activity was it? And what was the confusion? And what was your learning out of that particular activity?
Sir, I have made one mistake, as you said, sir. It was in the bookkeeping, sir. In Amar, Akbar and Anthony, me and Brinda were taking notes, sir. Brinda joined late, sir, and I was the one who was taking notes. And Mridubhashnika was also part of my team, sir. But once Mridubhashnika was absent, sir, for the round one, she was taking these courses, so I left it to her, sir. But the next day, she went to temple, I think, sir. She did not come, sir. Aditya now was very new to our team, sir, and the other two boys were very little, sir. It was Kavin, sir. So I had the responsibility of noting down things. So the next day we have to present it there, sir, on how much money we have and in what portfolios we are going to allocate, sir. But thank you, sir.
And you are learning out of that stumbling that you made.
Yes, sir. Sir, instead of believing in someone else, sir, I had to believe in myself, sir. If I wanted to check with Mridubhashnika or Brinda, sir, instead if I have written very correctly myself, that wouldn't have happened, sir. And then after I was very prudent in writing down all the things, sir.
Okay, right. Fine. So you get 5 marks for this, Kalpita, and the next
Thank
one
you,
is a
sir.
footage round. Next one is a footage round. So can you wait?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 second. Are you seeing my screen, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everybody watch closely. I am sharing a video clip. Round, and I want all of you to be very careful because too many cooks spoil the broth, so you've got to be very, very careful. Proper strategizing should be there. Yeah, team talk is given. Team talk is given. Yeah, team talk. So 85. So Kalpita, Neela Satya was there, and as you could see her, the backyard. What activity is this, and what is the team venture that's going on? You are very much part of it, and tell us all you know.
Sir, in our team, Mitra was the leader, sir. In the second day of the activity, Brinda was part of, sir. In this particular video clip, we were about to play the Guess Who game, sir. And Neelaka, she also wanted to speak in Tamil, sir. And you also gave permission, sir. Mitra was helping her a lot, sir. And that was one particular activity where Mirdushri was the leader, sir. But right after that, she didn't come, sir. That was the last activity of Mirdushri, I guess, sir. And fortunately, we won that particular activity with Mitra as the leader, sir.
Okay, but you haven't named it as of now. What's the name of the activity? Yes, two things are right. Neela Satya wanted to speak in Tamil. Mitra was the leader, and that was the last session which Mirdasri participated. But what activity?
1 minute, sir. Sir, I don't remember, sir.
Okay, right. So we'll come back to you, Kalpita. Mitra, Dakshin Siddharth, and Ritan Nitesh. Sequence. Who raised hand? You or Dakshin?
Sir, I raised hand when you were saying the question. Let Darshana go first, sir, this time. Let Shina or Ritan, either of them could go first.
Now we'll give chance to Ritan first. Yeah, Ritan.
Good evening, sir. I was a bit late to attend the class, sir. It was actually a live game, sir. So my team leader was Vishnu Priyaka, sir, and it was actually a live game which was going on, sir.
Why do I have the guess who faces for the live game? Okay, I'll come back to you. Dakshin Siddharth.
Sir, I think it was on 18th June, sir, and the activity was pouncing tigers, sir. It was an activity after which, before that activity, I was the leader, sir, and our team lost very badly. I got blasted by you, sir. And then the very next activity, in this activity, I think Mirdushi was the leader, sir, and we won the activity, sir.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Mitra.
Sir, I think it's the same day. It's a speak-to-peak walk to talk, sir. First, I thought it was intellectual adventures when you answered, sir, but Dakshana later told it was speak-to-peak walk to talk, sir. Because we could see that Krishman, Brindaka, Kalpitaka, and myself, we were in teams, sir. Also, Neela auntie was a part of it, sir. So it was like the second day, second or the third day, sir, because on that Vishnu Priyaka, it was like 1 week after she joined the direct class, sir. So So it was the first time she was the leader, sir. And at that time, you started introducing guess who faces, sir. So we have already played guess who faces, sir. But there are some people like Dakshin Anna, then Mridhushri Akka, then Kalpita Akka, sir, who haven't played guess who faces it. So they have played guess who, sir. So you were introducing that, and finally we were about to play that game, sir, for a team talk, sir.
Nobody has yet given the name of the activity.
Speak to people of the talk, sir. Of the talk, sir.
Dakshin, name of the activity.
It's a pouncing tiger, sir.
That was in the month of August.
No, sir, it was on 18th June, sir. Like the
18th June. Yeah, okay. Pouncing Tigers, 18th June. Yeah, month of August, we had some other activity on which I'm having a question for Kalpita. I'll say that a little later. But yes, 18th June, it was Pouncing Tigers. But then my question is, okay, if you're saying this, you will get 3 marks for bonus. My question is, was Guess Who Faces Stray was used as a simulation, or was it on a original basis? It was executed as a original basis.
Sir, it was a memory game, sir. So you actually named everything, sir. And one person has to, we will have to close ties, sir. That's why we gave team talk, sir. So we went out and we were discussing who all had blonde hair, who all had beard and who was spectacles.
Okay. Yes, Vishnupriya and Brinda, you get chance.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was, I think it was memory game, sir. For the online members, you would also ask like, this person should have a beard, so they have to name the person. Before that itself, you will show that, sir. So I think it's kind of that activity, sir, for the guess who faces.
Okay, we are finishing with Brinda. Yes, Brinda.
Sir, I was really sure, sir, that is memory game, sir, because the particular day you stopped, it was I got scolding on that day, sir. Actually, we were correct in every 6 phases, sir, but last phase Mitra was coming to say, sir, but I actually said other person, sir. That person is actually the person is Matt, sir. I said as John, sir. Actually, I got scolding from that, sir. That game only you stopped, sir.
Right. So all of you get mark. Dakshin, Vishnupriya, Brinda, Mitra, Ritan Nitish, all of you get mark. Kalpita has also got 3 marks for it. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Your next question is, Kalpita, when was the Mr. Noble game played? Tell me the exact date of Mr. Noble game on the online format, and what was the specific reason and the learning that you had from Mr. Noble game? Dakshin first, Mitra second.
So first, I would like to mention Mr. Noble Learning, sir. I was part of Team Balajana, sir. It was an online, sir. In Team Balajana, it consisted of myself, Vishnupriya, Balajana, and Nagulan, sir. I have also texted you a message that I did not get chance at the last, sir. I wanted to say something in the next morning, sir. We had batches, sir, to go home, free to go home batches, sir. Yes, sir, free to go home batches and permanent recruitees in the bank, sir. In Team Dakshinana or Team Vedavashan and Dakshinana were the first members to get the batch, sir. And in my team, I was the first, sir. In the other team, I think Mitra or Mridhushri was the first, sir. Mr. Noble, sir, there was a lot of learning, sir. One, we should not be corrupted, sir. It was based on that, sir. And we all were made into trap, and we were given various exercises to get out of the game, sir. So everything that was involved there, sir. Their communication also developed, sir. For me, as personally, team synergies was more important, sir, because the next day I have said something to you, sir, and even in the group you forwarded the message, sir. So it was happened on the month of August, sir.
Vivid memory and right answer. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mitra.
Sorry, it was right answer. So Dakshin and Vishnupriya, it doesn't come to you. Mitra also. Kalpita, one more footage. Get ready.
Okay, sir.
You're going to jog. You're going to bend down, touch your feet.
Hi, Kalpita. So happy to see you. Just take your seat. I'll bring you some water and some snacks. Wait. A maid will steal spoon and steal tumblers. What?
products. So your own products are going to be really helpful for some of the people who are considering these objects as magic. See, that ma'am, Miss Kalpita Sri has got the cutlery, and Miss Mitra has got a wonderful spare parts in the bike.
So, Miruna, if you know about, you know to use guitar, right? Can you please make a song or something with some tune?
Yes, sir. Heard your keyboard music set was really nice, sir.
Thank you. This is just about.
Like he's the leader. Yeah, so team members and leader cooperated well. So,
like simultaneously, like spontaneously, like when they say some ideas, they hear to it, and everything was combined, sir.
Book. Just go for Goodreads in Google and try to search. Anybody else would like to add a point before the justice is going to take its responsibility?
So that guys should stop doing this illegal things.
He could. And the friends like Mr. Reshwar, Mr. Navalan Sundaram.
Give you after the 6 months. You do whatever you want.
you can give whenever you get that money.
And Team Sharan, Mridubashni and Ritan Nitish and Sanjay really did.
Kalpita, your question is, let's go anti-clockwise. The second video that you saw, in which Kavin was speaking and I was with the brown tie and all that, what was the activity? You first answer this question and explain the activity.
So 1 minute.
So if Kalpita is finishing the answer and if it proves to be wrong, then it goes to Dakshin, Mitra, Vishnupriya.
Sir, I have one guess, sir. Is it Rene Deluxe, sir?
Is it what?
Rene Deluxe, sir.
Okay. Okay, so what is the activity that is going on? I mean, explain. Okay, even if it is Rene Deluxe, what is the activity? What is it meant for?
Okay, sir. Sir, in that particular activity, we had butler icon, sir, and I was the captain of my team, sir. We had various names for particular persons, sir, and in that a person will be there, sir, who is considered to be really noble, sir, but he gives various opportunities to the youngsters, sir, and we really wanted to check if the person was real or the person is making fake and he is corrupted, sir. So that is what is going on, sir.
Dakshin, addition or
Sir,
correction?
yes, sir. Part 1 was but the Rene Deluxe, sir, because on 26th July you officially announced that you will be donning the formal attire, sir, right at 26th July, and after that we had an activity, sir, Footprints of Life, sir, which is officially the longest session, that online session, sir, longest online session in terms of activity, sir. It went on for 8 days, sir, right from August 2, and on August 10th we had the evaluation, I believe, sir. And then the Footprints of Life activity, and you also blasted Sharan, sir. We had a particular scene where Sharan acted as a police officer, sir, and you told that we were in a different stadium and he was in a different stadium, sir, because the way he talked to Mitra was not fair, sir, and it wasn't acceptable. So you blasted him, sir. That's what you were mentioning about the minus regarding corresponding to Team Sharan.
Okay, fine. So both Dakshin and Mitra get Kalpita get point. Kalpita, coming back to you, the footage that you saw where Reshwar and Dakshin Siddharth and this guy Navalan were all acting as lawyers. Which activity is that?
Sir, is it a skip, sir? Yes, sir.
அப்ப கூட pro bono அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு வேர்டை கூகுள்ல இருந்து எடுத்து Navalan got blasted for Googling during the session and getting new words just to impress people. And I asked him to be yourself. சும்மா தேவையில்லாம இந்த வேலையை பண்ணான்னு சொல்லி நான் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். So what activity is that?
Sir, I think it is a skit, sir. The skit designed by Kiran, sir. We had creative head, sir, where it was the continuation, sir. Kiran was in online, we all were in online, sir. And at last of the activity, Kiran broke the suspense, sir, and also she was blasted for that, sir. She did it very well, sir, but at last she herself told that, sir. Then later you brought up a few of new insights for the skit, and we completed it very successfully, sir.
That's a different skit, Kalpita. But now, yeah, Mitra, addition or correction.
Sir, can I also add for the first part of the question?
No, first part of the question, Dakshin gave a clear picture, so only he gets marks. That's the right answer. அது மறுபடியும் நீ addition பண்ண வேண்டாம். இப்போ கேட்ட question.
Sir, it was the same activity, sir. Footprints of life, sir. In a particular round, sir, it was lawsuit round, sir. So in the it was around the end, sir. It was either the 5th or the 6th day of the activity, sir. So what it did was like 3 or 4 people were chosen, sir, by you, sir, and they will have to give a skit outline, sir, and the others have to adapt with the skit outline, and they will have to act, sir.
Right answer. So Kalpita, that happened towards the end of the online format, not so earlier. It happened a different way. Vishnupriya, addition.
Sir, I just had the same thing what Mitra said, sir, about the footprints of lives that the team skit that we have made, sir.
Okay, I'll give you 1 point. Mitra gets 2. Dakshin Siddharth gets 2. Kalpita gets 1 this time. And Vishnupriya gets 1. Okay, Kalpita, you hear me? Kalpita, you hear me?
Yes, sir. I had network issues now, sir. Sorry, sir.
I understand. So, how many questions elapsed for you?
6, sir.
So comes the last question. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Night complex. Michael Jackson had this because that is, this complex is based upon, Rachel was right, this complex is based upon the novel, and the person Jekyll has always been thinking that he's a very, very tiny little fellow. Tiny little fellow. And if you refer the pages of Charles Jung's psychological discovery, the tiny little fellows are the ones who always consider themselves as monsters. They visualize that they are very big monsters. If you browse Michael Jackson's important albums, you can see an album called as Ghost. I really encourage all of you to see Ghost album of Michael Jackson, where pretty much like in this sequence, there is a very big mansion. Group of parents and children will go to a castle, and it was a rumor that the castle has got a ghost, which is Michael Jackson. So they go and check, but an ordinary person welcomes in the castle, and these kids are really asking a doubt if there is any ghost. And then Michael Jackson changes as ghosts, and he dances, and
Kalpita?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes. Did you manage to see the footage at least?
Yes, sir. I saw the footage, sir.
Explain. When was it? What is it? You can't explain. You just saw it.
Sir, it was a skit. Can I continue, sir?
So wait. Yes, Kalpita, you can explain.
Sir, it was a skit, sir. I think it is into the Bangla skit, sir. We had various characters played there, sir. And you were the main character, sir. I think Mirunaka was the villain of that particular skit, sir. And there was a character named Dayanand and Reshwarana, Ritvika, Balajanna were all there, sir. Reshwarana was acting as a handicap there, sir. And at last he was the real culprit, sir. Ritvika was a daughter of Balajana, sir. And I was a nephew of Shilpa, sir. Shilpa was played by Vishnu Priya, sir. Me, Brinda, and we're all nephews of Shilpa, sir. So I think that is the particular video, sir.
Okay, Kalpita, I'll come back to you.
Sir, this happened in the mid of Kiran's skit, sir. So in that I believe that Reshwarana was really interested in psychology, sir. So he made a presentation on that day, sir. Even in the video you mentioned that it was Jekyll Hyde. Sir, video mentioned complex, sir. And he made a presentation on that, sir. I don't know the topic of the presentation, but he made a presentation on psychology, sir.
Right. So Kalpita, it is not actually the Mysterious Mansion skit in which Dayanand was played by Miruna. It was actually Kiran's skit, and as Mitra mentioned, we'll come back to you. Yeah, Dakshin, in addition.
Sir, and you also mentioned appreciated Reshwarana in the group for volunteering for the topic. Sir, you said that you personally sent this topic to him and he had a book on this particular topic. Sir, you also suggested him to read that particular book, sir. And this was way before all the island bungalow and all that stuff, sir, because in the island bungalow, it sounds very similar, but it's not possible, sir, because you always had a background, sir, a background of a castle there, sir. So initially I thought it was silent bungalow, sir, but then when I saw that there was no background, so I rejected that idea, sir. And then I thought that Michael Jackson reference which you gave, sir, you were actually adding to the point of Reshwarana. So after Reshwarana made that presentation, you supported his presentation by making the presentation of Michael Jackson and the ghost things, sir. So
right hand. Actually, I had to speak about that because of the simple reason that we both had to give an addition about Jekyll Hyde complex. It's called as Jekyll Hyde complex. So it's a separate 4-minute video that I have made. It was about the complex, Jekyll Hyde complex. Sirisa tiny இருக்கிற ஆட்கள் வந்துட்டு தன்னை பெருசா நினைச்சுக்கிற அந்த பாவனையில் இருக்கிற ஒரு மனப்பான்மை தான் Jekyll Hyde complex. So I made a presentation in Kiran's skit, not in Island Bangla skit. Kalpita.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. Well done, Mitra. Well done, Lakshmana.
Okay, last rapid fire question, and only Kalpita answers, nobody else is given the chance. So, Kalpita, do you remember how much mark at the beginning of the session today?
Sir, it was yesterday. On the Saturday we saw it, sir. I was 669, sir.
Okay, fine. So, this is the last question, and then I'll show you the credit rating system sheet for you.
Okay, sir.
Rapid fire questions, and you have to say the answers very, very quickly. How many skits you were part of?
Sir, I think I was part of 14 skits, sir, right from the character novels, sir, Green Opal skits, sir, mine Boomerang skits, sir, Mitra's Good Manners 2.0, then Vedavashan's Discrimination Denied, sir, and Into the Bangla, Stuck into the Train, then Cliff Mansion part 2, that was my first skit, sir, like this 14 skits, sir.
You're part of 16 skits, Kalpita. 2 skits.
Okay,
yeah, 1 skit you were not able to come up because you were traveling to Kerala, and you, of course, you participated online, and after that there was 1 more skit after which you had to take a little bit online break, and there was 1 more skit and activity based one. Unfortunately, you were struck with fever, and you were supposed to take off. So you are part of 16 skits.
Okay.
How many times you had been in the losing teams from the month of June 2020 till the cross exchange game that we had recently before Viva Voce, how many times approximately, not accurately, approximately you are belonging to the losing teams?
Sir, around 11 times, sir, I think, sir. In the passing the torch, I was the leader, sir, but unfortunately, we did not win, sir. And like that, there are various activities, sir. In win advantage, sir, we were not the winners, sir, but we placed the second position, sir. And then speak the speak to speak, walk the talk. I was part of Mitra's team, sir, and I think we were the second, sir. Then. We play a lot of skits, sir. The one more thing I would like to mention is in the live game, sir, which took place in the November, sir. Unfortunately, we did not win, sir. And in one soldier game, sir, I think it was 2020 version, sir. And we did not win, sir. I think it's 11 times, sir.
You are actually part of the losing teams for 13 times, and out of the 13 times, 5 times you came very, very closer, and one time I was about to announce tie, but you were so adamant that it should not be a tie and you want to know the result and you ended up losing it. So 13 times you were part of losing. No problem. Close, approximately close. Last 2 questions and then your hot share is over. How many times you had been part of the girl power, like Mitra, you, Vishnupriya, Brinda, all people together? So you had been certain number of times you had been in the girl power kind of team work. How many times had it happened in MS evening sessions?
Sir, I'm approximately saying it, sir. I think it is 6 times, sir. In the particular activity in which we wanted to create an island, sir. Me, Mitra, Vishnupriya, Brinda were all part of, sir. The Vishnupriya was captain, sir. In twin advantage game, sir. Me, Mitra, and Tarnika, sir. It was also full of girls, sir. In the then. In one particular sport activity, sir, in February, it was between half east and half east, sir. Half east was the only one, and the rest of the others were girls, sir. And in maze runners, sir, everybody were girls, sir, except half east, sir. And on the other side, all the seniors and all the boys were there, sir. And I still remember. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you still remember?
Sir, it was in the maze finding games, sir. Half east was the only boy, sir. We were running all around, sir. Half east was finding in the center, sir, and we were all finding at the backyard and in the sides, sir.
The answer 6 times is pretty close, actually 5 times so far. Anyways, it's a good one. Last bonus question. In which activity did you see Udeshri Brinda falling down on the sports center, hurting her knee and her waist? And which activity was it? And when was it?
Sir, it was twin advantage, sir. Brinda, Kirtanaka, and Vishnupriya were the team, sir. Whereas in my team, I was the leader, sir. Mitra, myself, and Tarnika were the 3 members, sir. I think on the second day, sir, Brinda joined, sir. We had hockey, sir. It was hockey, sir, and Brinda wore a red color dress, I think so, sir. Brinda was trying to hit the ball, sir, but unfortunately it went away. But still, she managed, sir. And you gave 70 points bonus, sir, and that was the lead where they won, sir.
Right, good job.
Brinda
was not wearing red color dress. She was wearing a cream color dress and a frock, light frock, which was actually made her fall down, specifically speaking. So Kalpita, fabulous hot share performance. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Very well done, Kalpita.
Thank you, Mitra. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vishnu.
Well done, Kalpita.
Thank you.
Very well done, Kalpita.
Thank you, Brinda.
Okay, so now I would like to show the credit rating system screen. If you ask me if Kalpita has gathered any penalty, yes, she has gathered a penalty. I'll show it how. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Mitra 690, Kalpita 692 penalty for not being able to find out the name of the activity a couple of times. There was one penalty, and that was redeemed because of a right answer in the rapid fire question. Dakshin 690, Divi 460, Vishnupriya 654, Brinda 666, Aswathaman 564, Mridubhashini 460, Ritan 305, and Sanjay 172. So 692 is the mark that Kalpita finishes with, and good job, Kalpita. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mitra. Thank you, Vishnupriya.
Very well done, Kalpitaka.
Thank you, Shweta.
Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next hot chair is taken by Dakshin Siddharth.
All the best, Dakshinanna.
All the best,
Thank you, sir.
Dakshinanna.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All the
Kalpita.
best,
Thank you.
All the best, Dakshinanna.
Thank you, Shweta.
Dakshin.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Feb 22, 2020. Describe.
Sir, I joined at Feb 17, sir. And after that, I wasn't attend because of an exam, sir. But then on Feb 20th, I think I joined and we did a skit, sir. And we have two students competing in a poetic competition and they end up writing the same poem, sir. So that was a skit, sir. And Balajina was the school principal, sir. I really remember that, sir. And after that, I think Feb 22 was a Sunday, sir. And that was when I think I met Hariharan for the first time, sir. It was a game called, it was a memory game with stock market cards, sir. It was like, I think the Crazy Voyage, sir. It was the name of the game, sir. And we had Mitra, myself, Hariharan, and I think Brinda also, sir. And it was a morning session, sir. It was the first morning session, I think, which I attended.
Right answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Mitra.
Second question for you, Dakshin.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute.
And as a chief executive officer, I will consider this as a legal thing and I will go to any step.
Sorry, sir, I can't.
You just now you call me dad, and this is the respect you are giving for your dad, huh?
Sorry, sir, I'm having a lot of work.
Hey, I'm talking here and you are saying I want my son to have the appointment called. One slap. One slap. I will.
Dakshin Siddharth, explain.
Sir, it was before I joined, right, sir? Like I saw this in the 2019 thing, sir. And I don't think I was part of that session, sir.
So you are not part of it?
Sir, no, sir.
Can you see the date?
Feb 24. Sir, or else I might have been absent, sir. I didn't attend this one, sir.
That's obvious. But you said that you are watching all the videos, so you might have watched this video also. So describe.
Sir, I didn't watch this particular video, sir, but I'm sure that I was absent, sir. That's why I was not part of this video, sir.
Okay, all right. Fine, we'll come to the footage a little later. Now, which was the activity that I was actually giving you a word of warning not to be so much reckless in terms of being part of the losing team? And you were so playful and you were, besides the fact that you are going to lose, you still were laughing, pranking, making jokes and all that. And earlier in that particular session, you were also roasted for playing with a tiny little ball over here, and you were doing all the football gimmicks when you were supposed to be listening to me. When Udeshi Brinda was here, Mitra was here, and you were in the corner. And then, not in the same session, but very closely knitted in the same segment of timeline, you are warned for the first time that you've got to show seriousness. Either you have strategy for making the losing team a winning team, or you keep your mouth shut, or just stop being reckless like this. Which activity was it? Who were along with you during that time? And what was the learning out of that particular court martial that you had?
Yes, sir. Sir, I remember pretty well, sir. It was in the month of March, and we had three types of activities. I've listed them down, sir. One was like kinesics and guess who type of rounds, sir. Fun games, sir. The second type of activities which we did was, I think, individual games, sir, like Brain Voyage, where we had question and answer sessions. Like, and you also had one particular question and answer session, sir, where I and Vedavarshan asked you a couple of questions. And what did you expect out of the students who are in MS saving session, sir? You listed down 3 or 4 virtues, sir, that everyone must treat everyone equally, irrespective of the gender, and everyone must appreciate everyone, sir. So it was in the month of March, sir. And after that, I think it was in the kinesics round, sir. I and Vedavarshan were in one team, sir. Mitra and you were in the opponent team, sir. Mitra gave 10 seconds action, sir. Yes, sir.
Once again, I'll come back to you. You have correction?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, one in the sorry, sir. Sir, it was around March 22, sir. We had Dakshina mentioned that it was his idea of having a poem skit, sir. Where you are bedridden, sir, and we might be coming to you and asking for that, sir. In one scenario, sir, yourself, me, and Brindaka were conversing, sir. While at that time, Dakshina was standing there playing with the football, sir. That's the first one, sir. And number two, sir, in November, sir, around November end, sir, 2020, sir, I think it was 28th, sir. Even Yali joined on the day, sir. Yes, sir. At the time, on the day, Ritan were opposite of us, sir. Kalpitaka was our leader, sir. Kalpitaka and myself, sir. And at that time, no, sir. Okay. No, sir. After the Dakshina got scolding, sir. Okay.
Dakshin Siddharth, I'm sorry, wrong answer.
Sir, like, yes, sir.
It was in the first week of March, that agreed. Both of your dates were very much close. In a live game, you were losing.
Yes, I was coming there, sir. Sir, really, sir, before I completed the challenge. Sir, really, sir.
So, Vedavarshan was your teammate, and Mitra's team, where Balaji was part, they were having at least 2.8 lakhs as their annual, gross net worth. And Vedavarshan's team, that is your team, was having only 35,000 as gross net worth. And last week, அவங்க earn பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தாங்க. நீ என்ன சொன்னா வேதவர்ஷன் கிட்ட, பரவாயில்லடா நம்ம ஜெயிச்சிருவோம்டா, பரவாயில்லடா நம்ம ஜெயிச்சிருவோம்டா, நீ அவருக்கு பரவாயில்லடா நம்ம ஜெயிச்சிருவோம்டா, டேய் நீ யாருன்னு காட்டுற,
தோத்தறலாம், தட்ஸ் ஒன்லி நோ சார்,
தோத்தாலும் பரவாயில்லடா நீ யாருன்னு காட்டுற. So at one point of time, without knowing the game, without studying the game, you were just giving this kind of rash comments which really annoyed me. And I said that day இந்த வேலை இங்க வெச்சுக்காத அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு தான் நான் ஆரம்பிக்கவே செஞ்சேன். ஒண்ணு விளையாடுறதா இருந்துச்சுன்னா, I think that was the first time you got blasted. இவ்வளவு ஹார்ஷா நான் சொல்லல. டேய் விளையாடுறது ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி சொல்ல. வேதவர்ஷன் was really worried. அண்ணா இதான் பண்ணுங்கண்ணா, அண்ணா இப்படி பண்ணலாம்ண்ணா, அண்ணா அப்படி பண்ணானான்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவன் கண்ணாடி கழட்டிட்டு கவலைப்பட ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டான். ஸோ அப்போ நீ விளையாண்டு இருந்த. ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல நான் உனக்கு ஒரு லேர்னிங் சொன்னேன். You said that you are coming to that. So சொல்லு. Since you are coming to that, and you are not going to get marked for forgetting that, but you can say what contrasting learning that I had tried to influence. நீ சொன்னதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ரீசெண்ட், ஆஃப்டர் கல்பிதா ஜாயின், தட் வாஸ் இன் தி மந்த் ஆஃப் ஜூன் ஜூலை. இது வந்து அவன் ஜாயின் பண்ண 6வது கிளாஸ். மார்ச்ல இருந்து தக்ஷன் சித்தார்த் started coming on a regular basis. February he initially told his mom that he will be attending MSES session only 2 days a week or so, on an alternative basis. He tells his mom, that's it, nothing doing. I'm going for this class and I am meeting this man every day. Every day 10 hours, am I right, Dakshin Siddharth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right.
So tell the learning and you can really recuperate with some compensation marks. Come on.
Yes, sir. Sir, about that incident, sir. Actually, Vedavarshan and I were in a team, sir, as you mentioned. And what happened was, initially, before the game started, I was pumped up, sir. I was like determined to win the activity, sir. But as we accumulated loans after loans and we were going in the minus stage, sir, in the minus graph, I said that Paravala Thothalla Avlodana. And I was laughing and I was making jokes when I was not supposed to, sir. That's when you said there is time for seriousness and there's time for jokes and like jovial atmosphere, sir. So that's what you mentioned to me, sir. Karyana kanna irukonu, you said, sir. Like when you're supposed to do something, you're supposed to be like you have to have an eagle's eye on that particular activity, sir. And then what happened was even Vedavarsan apologized on my behalf and said, sir, Dakshina change aiduvanga sir at the activity lende. I promise you, and Vedavarsan also sir, defended me, sir. So that was the activity, and the learning out of it, just now I mentioned, sir, like whatever you said, the things which came out of your mouth, sir. There's separate time when we need to be serious, and there's separate time where jovialness and like fun is also required, sir. So I was almost coming there, sir.
3 marks given for the second question, 5 marks given for the first.
Thank you, sir.
Hard share question number 3 for Dakshin Siddharth. There was one particular situation where your cousin Dunwin was in your team and you lost because of Dunwin's presence and Dunwin's behavior. And there was one more occasion where Dunwin was again purposefully put into your team, and that was a deliberate effort by the trainer, and you won that contest. My question is, which is the contest that you lost because of Dunwin? Which is the contest that you won because of your cousin Dunwin?
Sir, like I have to think, so can you give me just a couple of seconds, sir?
Okay, if Dakshin Siddharth proves to be wrong, you get a chance.
Sir, but I know only the answer for one part of the question. That doesn't matter.
You'll get 1 mark.
Okay.
2 marks is bonus, default. Paadi sonnina 1 mark.
Sir, like I think on May 2nd, sir, what happened was we were having an activity called Royal Landlord, sir, and that was a activity where I was the captain, sir. And I also have a list of all the activities that I was captain of, and it's probably the 5th one, sir, where I was the leader. And Dunwin was put into my team, sir, because I made the mistake of asking for him, sir, and you put him into my team, sir. And the first time what happened was he was referring to Google, sir, while he was not supposed to do so. He was supposed to make a presentation, sir, and he was referring to Google, sir.
What was that one particular terminology that he referred in Google?
Sir, it was like you, can you repeat, sir? I'm sorry. What was that one particular?
What was that one particular terminology or a concept for which he referred Google and he got caught red-handed?
Sir, actually, he was supposed, I know the topic also, sir, he was supposed to make a presentation on like should students use phone more or should they concentrate more on books, sir? Like the difference, sir, because online classes were pretty common at that particular time, sir. And he was stating it eloquently in an essay format, sir, with top class words and everything, sir. That's when you got like you noticed some of the vocabularies and you said that it's not possible to be said by him, and then you caught him red-handed, sir, and he deliberately left the session, and on the next day he said that he had network issues, sir. So that was the activity, sir. I still clearly remember, sir. And yes, sir.
I'll come back to you on that. Addition?
Sir, yes, sir, the other thing, sir, that's the time or the activity in which they lost, sir. I think it was traumatic drama, sir. So I'm pretty sure that Dakshina was opposite of us, sir. It consisted of everyone, sir. This time we didn't ask for fantasy teams, sir. The day before this traumatic drama started, only announced in the group that fantasy teams are not going to be asked hereafter, sir. In that activity, sir, myself, Vashanna, Nagaradana, Mridushriyaka, Kalpitaka, sir, and Brindaka also, sir. We were the team, sir, while the other way opposite.
You get 1 mark. But Dakshin, that was the right answer.
Yes, sir.
But you haven't answered as a part in which in which, besides having Dhanvin in your team, you still won the game. Which game was it?
Sir, on 7th May, sir, myself, Mirdubhashini and Dhanvin, sir, all three of us were in one particular activity, sir, and our college name was Jubilant College of Arts, sir, in 1960. It was a time traveling college activity, sir, where you played the role of a particular person, sir, who used to visit different timelines and write articles about them, sir. And you could not return to the timeline 2005 because we left you at the Imperial College itself, sir, which was in 1990. We actually time traveled and we took that remote from you and we pushed you into that particular timeline and we came back to 2005, sir. And like we had a presentation round in that particular activity, sir, explaining about how.
I made a mirror skit about that, where I was a kind of a goon leader, and you, Dakshit, and one more person were in the jungle, and you were considering me as a godfather.
Yes, sir.
And there was a separate name for me,
Yes, sir.
and you refused to join hands with the modern people.
Yes,
What
sir.
was my name? Which activity is that? And describe.
So 2nd June 2020, sir, it was called Reversing the Rebels, and you played the role of Kalbali, sir. And myself, Vedavarshan, Hariharan, Dakshit, and Nagulan, five of us were in our mid-age, sir. Like we were in the middle age, and we were fed up with all the technology and all the lavish lifestyle which was going on, sir. And we wanted to embrace nature, and we came along with you, sir. And I want to say this, sir. I got roasted in that particular activity because you asked for the final conclusion from everyone, sir. I gave two conclusions which were very violent, sir. Number one, that some soldiers were disguised as, some terrorists were disguised as Kalbali soldiers, sir. And the other one was like we were FBI agents and I'm not FBI agents, we were raw agents and we came to catch Kalbali, sir. You roasted me a lot and said that it was like away from the scope of learning of that activity, sir. And then in the third round, like in the third successive try, my solution was accepted, sir. And you said after 2 rounds of heating, the charcoal is turning into diamond. The exact words, sir.
Yeah, the charcoal and diamond, right. You still remember that. Good. Right answer.
Yes, sir.
Super ma'am.
ஆனா ஒண்ணு மட்டும் புரிஞ்சு போச்சுடா. ரோஸ்டட் பிளாஸ்டட் மட்டும் நல்லா ஞாபகம் வச்சிருக்கீங்கடா எல்லாரும். கல்பிதா கரெக்டா சொல்ற, அப்படி நீ திட்டு வாங்கின வார்த்தையும் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டையும் சேர்த்து சொல்ற. இது டேட் ஒர்க் காட்டு நல்லா தான் வேலை செஞ்சிருக்கு.
Yes, sir.
Dakshin Siddharth gets 5 marks for the third hard shell question.
Thank you, sir.
Fourth question for Dakshin Siddharth hard shell. When was an activity you mentioned along with your teammates that it is like a festival and your happiness glowed in your eyes? And he said that, sir, I can't describe how happy I am and how enthusiastic I am in these kinds of activities. You are truly really inspiring. This is the kind of the environment I always liked and loved, sir, and you are exactly giving me. You said this particular statement being outside over there. Huge number of people were there near your shoulder, and there was another set of people working over here, and there was another set of people working in the opposite corner of yours. I was literally able to see that you are so excited and your eyes were sparkling. And that was not only the only time that you have mentioned. You have explained about that for almost about 6 times so far in MS evening sessions, 3 times in Sports Zest. But this was the first ever time that you mentioned. Like, you can't describe how happy and how enthusiastic you are and how excited you are to take part in it. And you are boosting your teammates so forcibly, which even made Hariharan, Serida, innada, Serida, so solra, ideas solra. When was it? And describe.
Sir, I'm very sure, sir, since you said that it was the first time I said it, sir. Like on March 9th, sir, in the whole month of March, we were having only kinesics activities, sir. Before that, on March 4th, what happened was we had a brain voyage game, sir, where everyone was supposed to come to the podium and we asked questions to everyone, sir, and they had to answer, sir. It could be any type of question, sir. Like it was the first pre-magnetic chair sort of module, sir. I think the magnetic chair drew inspirations from that particular thing, sir. But after that, on March 9th, what happened was you said that we are going to do an activity where you'll give words and we have to act it out, sir. Sir, actually, don't scold me, sir. What happened was during my school days, sir, especially in the month of February and March, I was a big fan of a game called Dumb Charade, sir. We all used to play together, sir, and we used to do it with movie names, sir. But like after you said that we're going to do the same thing but with vocabulary words, I was very enthusiastic, sir. Because whenever we talk about non-verbal communication skills, we only do that for movies, for songs, and stuff like that, sir. But I never imagined that we could do it for vocabulary words also, sir. So that's why I thanked you a lot, sir, and I pleaded you to do it for more days, sir. We did it for 15 days, sir. And Hariharan was also very enthusiastic, sir. And he invented a code for the country China, sir, while acting. Like he coughed and we guessed it as coronavirus in time.
Right answer. Right answer.
Thank you, sir.
It was during the Kinesics inception into MS evening sessions, and after a live game which was played for August 2019, if there was one activity which was played for a month long, it was Kinesics. So it all started with you. Again, another 5 marks for Dakshin Siddharth. Next question for Dakshin Siddharth goes like this. There was a particular activity in which I was really mad at you for not giving proper weightage for the girls. So 3 members of our current roster who are listening to me right now were part of your team, and you gave not even a single iota of attention towards them when you were deriving upon the schema of your presentation. Besides giving you 2 warnings, you did the same thing. And then I asked one of these girls, and they did not give you up. No, sir, Dakshinana asked about our idea too. And I blasted that girl too. And I told you that you are not a very good team player. I literally mentioned this statement because you are not giving the equal weightage to the girls. And on this, the warning that I have given you is not only for 1 time. I have did this 9 times. Out of those 9 times, I want you to say at least 5.
Yes, sir. Sir, like I remember this pretty well, sir. It was the first instance which caught my, when we were discussing about that, which caught my fancy was on December 8th, we were having an activity called body shopping, sir, where we came up with an idea of preparing a scouting report for each and every individual, sir, like while presenting, like doing it in a creative way, sir. But only I, Naglan, Vedavarshan, and Ritan, who was the captain, only we 4 discussed it, sir. And Kirtan Akka was going to present, sir. While she was going alone, I went and said, Akka, in the Mari Paniranga, say it as a scouting report. It'll add more marks. But during team discussion, we did not mention it, sir. So Mitra, I think she was wearing a pink color dress at that time, sir. And you asked her, you said that I spoke to Mitra last night and she was trying to defend you. But then I did not listen to her and then she ended up crying and weeping. That was one incident, sir.
One.
Yes, sir.
But this is not the first one. This is at least 6th or 7th.
Yes, sir.
I am really, really willing to hear from you the first ever incident that had happened. And one particular name got out of MS evening sessions because of that.
Yes.
So, first.
Sir, it was in an online session, sir. Like Mirunaka was our team leader, sir. We chose to be group of industrialists, sir. I remember the date also, sir, coincidentally. It was on July 17th, sir. And myself, Mirunaka, Kiran, Mridushri, and a couple of members were in a WhatsApp group, sir. We were discussing about, you gave us 2 or 3 choices, sir, and one of them was industrialists, a group of industrialists. So we chose industrialists, sir. But then in the same group, what happened was, at the same time, what happened? Mridushri sent you a message and you forwarded it to me, sir, stating that I and Kiran were ignoring her and we were having personal chats on in that particular forum, sir, which according to me is not true. And then what? Yes, sir.
That's 2. That's 2. Once
yes,
again, addition.
Sir, yes, sir. I I remember one more activity, sir. It happened in July 6. Yes, sir. June 16th, sir. June 16th and 17th, sir. It was an activity, sir. Even yesterday I saw it was a presentation, sir. We were supposed, myself, Dakshiranna, Karpitaka and Varsharanna were like panel members, sir. We were a group, sir, who was supposed to give presentation topics to the other, some other groups. There were around 3 or 4 teams except our team, sir. So they were actually representing their own college, their Montage college, sir. Like years, sir, and we were supposed to do the give the presentation topic, sir. But before that, we are supposed to do a presentation, sir. So for that, Dakshiranna in the group, he said that everyone gave their own ideas, sir. So Dakshiranna gave an idea that we will do something like mentioning the sections and some of the important fields of India, sir, like education, medicine, sir. And we were supposed to take some topics out of it, and we were supposed to present, sir.
Okay, that's 3. Kalpita, you raised hand. What was it? You got Mridushree, right?
Yes, sir. It was for adding on Dakshinana's point, sir. And the activity was rich people versus enriched ideas, if I am not wrong, sir. Even Mridushree showed me the message, and I did not want to convey it to you, sir. But she did not listen to me. She forwarded it to you, sir. And we had various activities, sir. As Dakshinana mentioned, their team chose that particular thing, sir. And in that particular activity, we had different names, like Sanjay Ramasamy, Dhanvin Malhotra, like that. We also had some names, sir.
All right. Okay. That's a good one. So Mitra and Kalpita get 1 mark each. Okay, Dakshin, let's move on. I know that you'll be able to picking up, so I'll give 5 marks for you on this also. Right. So
Thank you, sir.
the next question, the next question is going to be a footage. So can you wait?
Yes, sir.
Who turned this together mode?
Sir, me, sir, by mistake, sorry, sir.
Okay, so I'm just coming up with it. Dakshin, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So speakers off, sir. Speakers muted.
So you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So Dakshin Siddharth, the last few moments that you saw in that montage video, what activity was that? And the college student who was also part of it, what was his name? And why have I involved him in your activity? And what was the learning out of it? Describe.
Sir, I remember that activity, sir, where before that, when you were distributing the certificates, sir, it was the first time I met Kirtanaka, sir, and she had come during that particular day, sir. When you introduced yourself, sir, I just shook my head, sir. So you sarcastically asked, "Oh, munnadiye theriyuman?" You asked, sir. That was the first time I met Kirtanaka, sir. Then what? We were playing Gesu cards at that particular time, sir. You will give some taboo words, and but the main word will be something else, and we have to guess it, sir. I think I still remember chariot was one of the words, sir, in that particular word, and you appreciated me for doing well in that particular task, sir. And then we had another task, sir, where Kirtanaka was a leader. What we did was you gave us particular cards, sir, picture Eka cards and some cards with words, sir. You laid them on the table, and we had to memorize them, sir. And we were all seated, and we could not look back, sir. You will stand there and you'll ask questions, and we were given a particular time to memorize all the cards, all the words written in it. And myself, Vedavarsan, we were all in the same team after a lot of pleading, sir. And you put us in the same team, and whenever the other team made a mistake, we were supposed to catch, hold, cling on to that, and we were supposed to say, sir. So this was the activity which was happening, sir. And the Viva certificates were also distributed, sir. I had no idea what Viva certificate was, what Viva was back then, sir.
Rishan.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was actually on the day it was first year anniversary, sir, of MS reading session, sir. It happened on 28th February 2020, sir. And it was also a leap year, sir. So it was the day before the leap day, sir. There were three sections on that session. In that session, so the first section was the award distribution, sir. The second was we wanted to plan cultural fest, sir, but too many people did not attend, sir. So our plans weren't able to be executed, sir. So what you did was on the day you brought, sir, and Varsharana drove the scoot, wasn't able. I became taller on the day, sir, and I wasn't able to handle that. Also, my two, I'll have to. In home, we used to do it one leg on the floor, sir, but you didn't allow that, sir. We had that.
Dakshin Siddharth gets 5 marks and Mitra gets 1 mark for it.
Thank
so Dakshin, how many questions have been elapsed?
Sir, including this, I think 6.
Dakshin, you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. How many questions elapsed?
Sir, 6, sir.
Okay. Footage coming up. Watch.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? they come for you. Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. That old soldier man now give you no break. Not even your own. Why did you have to act so?
What activity is this one? Which activity was actually? Yes, understandably, it happened in the month of June 2020, as you could see. This activity, a huge crowd, and as you could see, the people are over here, and they are trying to shoot, and they are having the focus. So, and this one again.
Yes, sir.
I want you to name this particular activity, and it is happening for about 3 or 4 days, the same activity. And I make a note of all the things, and each time, yeah, as you could see, people are getting dismantled and gathered, and here one person is getting completely blasted. So
Yes,
you are part of it, Dakshin Siddharth. So, and
Yes,
what
sir.
is this? Everything, all these are, yeah, here. It is not supposed to fall down. Everybody has to collect without falling down. So describe this entire activity that went for almost about 7 or 8 days span.
Sir, we resumed direct sessions after the first phase of online sessions exactly on June 4th, sir. And what happened at that particular time was we had a sort of live game with creative tasks, sir, which went on from 4th June to 10th June, sir. I'm sorry, not 10th June, sir, till 9th June, sir, after which we had an activity called Intellectual Adventure, sir, where I was in Team Keshav, and we were doing pretty bad in that activity. But before that, we had this activity called Live Game with Creative Tasks, sir. And on 6th June exactly, we merged with Team Dakshit, sir, which was an online format because Dakshit came in the direct format, sir, unexpectedly. And you said that we could merge together. So initially, I said that if we merge, we won't have the full satisfaction of earning the points, sir. And you appreciated me for that, sir. But there was no other choice, and we had to go for a merger, sir. And we were merged with Team Dakshit, sir. And on 7th June, we had a lawsuit, sir. And I think that was the day when Mirdushri and Kalpit also joined, sir. And after that, on 8th June, we had the culmination of this particular activity. And on 9th June, you set some icons of the game, sir. You were making the announcement. Like it was like the man of the match concept, and you'll pick some members from each of the teams, sir. That happened on I think 9th June, sir. And after that, we went for the we went for the intellectual adventure, and then we played soldier games. Yes, sir.
Right, right, right. Looks like you have read all the task sheets that had been sent last year, and you had been wary of the dates because in task sheet the numbers and dates were very clear. So I think you have put some hard work on that too. I appreciate that on note. Kalpita, addition?
Yes, sir. It was my first day as Dakshinana mentioned, sir, and the name of the activity was live game with turns, sir. On the second day, I joined the MS initiation, sir. But officially, it was the fourth day of the activity when I was instilled into the class, sir. And I was part of Team Balaji, sir. And the next game also, I wanted. You asked me the fantasy team, sir. I said I would like to be in the same team, sir. And I was keep on calling Vishnu Priya as Akka, sir, since I did not know Vishnu Priya was my counterpart, sir. She said several times, I am also in the same grade, sir. And as Dakshina mentioned, a lawsuit was going on, sir, but I did not understand what lawsuit was, sir. And on the exactly fourth or fifth day of the activity, I made my first ever podium presentation in that particular activity, sir.
Okay. So Kalpita gets 2 points. In addition?
Sir, the video that you showed, sir, it had the variation of 4 activities, sir. The first activity was intellectual adventures teams, sir, fantasy teams, sir. So this happened all before the speak to peak walk to talk, sir. That's where you mentioned no fantasy teams allowed, sir. So on that day, even you appreciated me for taking notes of their own fantasy teams and preparing an A4 sheet for that, sir. So that's the first one, sir. The second one was in the mid of intellectual adventures. Unfortunately, we had rain heavily. It started raining heavily, sir. Even Dakshinanna auntie dropped him here. Yes, sir. And Prabhu Aditya Ritan came, sir, with their raincoat. And we ended up sending them, and even Dakshinana went halfway, sir. Then you called up everyone because the rain stopped that day.
Dakshit and Dakshin came.
Yes, sir. Everyone came, sir. Till that Kavamithun were in our home, sir.
Right. Right. Okay. Fine. So Dakshin, Kalpita, and Mitra get the points. Dakshin gets 5, Kalpita gets 2, and Mitra gets 2. Dakshin, final phase of your hot shot.
Yes, sir. 1 second, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you also asked about who was blasted, sir. Shall I say that, sir?
Who?
Sir, it was in the passing the torch activity, sir, and I was the leader, sir. And you gave us like a couple of words, sir, in a sequence, and we had to make a presentation, creative presentation using that, sir. Naglan was also in my team, sir, but he was in the online team, sir. So we designated one particular phase for him, sir, because and we divided it among ourselves that you have to concentrate from this part to this part. But unfortunately, our online member wasn't there, sir. So you blasted me and Kirtanaka, sir, on that particular day.
No, wrong. Penalty. It's wrong. That particular blasting was for Mridubashni. For being a panel member, and Mridubashni did not speak well. Check with Mridubashni. Am I right, Mridubashni?
Yes,
Because
sir.
Mridubashni was speaking from the tank, and she was online format, and she was in the panel. Kiran and Mridubashni were told Kiran was not present. Kiran left halfway through, and Kiran's mantle was given to Mridubashni. So Mridubashni was supposed to be the panel member, and she did not do well. And straight for about 23 minutes and 33 seconds, she got blasted.
Yes, sir. In the same activity, sir. Like where they were panel members. She was head of the panel.
But the ship that was sailing smooth, and I was about to be happy that you did not earn penalty and you have earned penalty. Passing the torch was not the activity, Dakshin Siddharth. For the first time, your CRS is seeing a penalty. Okay. Rapid fire round. Ready?
Yes, sir.
How many times you were a captain or a leader in MS evening sessions from January 17, 2020?
So January 17, sir.
I mean February 17. Sorry, mistake.
Sir, yes, sir. 1 second, sir. Just 1 second, sir. The first one. Yes, sir. Sir, in the month of February, we did not have team activities much, sir. So I went for a month-by-month scan, sir. In February, we didn't have any team activities, sir. We had only individual games or fun-based games, sir. But in April, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll say, sir. First, socially distanced empires, sir. That was the first activity where I was leader, sir. And the second one was team skits. Totally, I'll tell the number alone, sir. Number was 11 times, sir, including 8 online and. Yes, sir.
You are a leader in MS evening sessions 13 times.
Okay, sir. Shall I say the activities also, sir?
Activity list you have enlisted, but Operation Success patient dead. You don't have the number correctly, 13 times.
Close enough, sir. You said approximately.
How many times in 2021? Try to get this right at least. How many times in 2021? Out
Sir,
of 13.
after Ashwathaman joined, I was leader exactly 3 times, sir. And right from January and in February, I wasn't able to do things, sir. And like in January, I was leader once, sir.
You are not part of the session in February, and January and March, April and May together, you had been 4, and
yes,
in 2020, you were leader for 9 times.
Yes,
that
sir.
means you have been a leader in MS evening session for 13 times. Okay.
Yes.
Out of the 13 times, what is the winning streak? How many times you took your team winning? Out of 13, how many times you made your team win?
Sir, my record is pretty poor, sir. I accept it, sir. 6 and 7 times I lost, sir.
5. You made your team win 5
yes.
times. But On all the 5 times, you had been given more appreciations on the stage and everybody clapped for you.
Yes, sir.
How many times were you part of Nagalan and Vedavarsan, this senior most duo of MS evening sessions? How many times these two members were along with you in the team activities? Better yet, tell me how many team activities you are part of in MS evening sessions for the past 1 year and 3 months.
Sir, Vedavarsan and Nagalan, first I'll do that one, sir. Sir, I will first speak about how many times I was under them when they were the leaders, sir. I was under Vedavarsan for exactly 3 times, sir. And for Naglan also, I was under him for 2 times, sir. And both were in the online sessions, sir. And all the other times, mostly I was like in the opponent team of Naglan, sir. Because you clubbed Naglan, Mitra, and Vedavarsan, especially in the June month, sir. You clubbed them together, sir. And mostly I was on the opposing team to them, sir.
You have leadership of Nagalan.
Yes, sir. And I have the number for the number
you
of
said 3.
For what, sir?
You said 3 times you worked under Nagalan.
No, sir. 3 times under Vedavarsan, sir.
உன்னை வந்து நான் ஃபாலோயரா போட்டதே கிடையாது.
Sir, 2 times I was under Nagalan, sir. In the online batches only, sir.
One time you are part as Nagalan's team member and he was a leader, and Nagalan's leadership reign was truncated and it was given to somebody else, and that somebody else is you.
Yes, sir. So technically I included that also, sir.
Technically you
yes,
are
sir,
wrong,
for,
and you
like 1 round I was under him, no, sir. That's why, sir.
Next rapid fire question. How many times were you given the stance of resurrecting somebody else's faults? When somebody does a flaw or when somebody does a fault, including Mitra, how many times you were given the charge for putting the illumination and taking things on the right stride?
Yes, sir.
I counted upon you, stating that Dakshin, take it right. அதை கரெக்ட் பண்ண அப்படிங்கிற அந்த எக்ஸ்பெடிஷன் ப்ரொசீஜரை இது வரைக்கும் எந்தெந்த டாஸ்க்ல உனக்கு நான் கொடுத்துருக்கேன், நேம் அட்லீஸ்ட் 2 tasks, you will be given 5 marks straight for that exclusively.
Yes, sir. Sir, the one of the activities is Amar Akbar and Anthony, sir, where Kirtanaka was our team leader, sir. In one particular round, it was like an interview sort of sequence, sir. And Kirtanaka got a couple of questions horribly wrong, sir. And then you were about to penalize us, sir. Then I corrected it first, sir. And then Mitra and Mitra, Nagalan, and Vedavarsan also supported, sir. And then you took away the minus, sir. You didn't consider it, sir. And the other one was, I think, in the body shopping activity, sir. In one of, like, you divided our teams into diets, sir, and we were supposed to make presentations, sir, in the first round. And one of the diets, I think, again, Kirtanaka and Kavin got it wrong, sir. And then I was supposed to correct what they were going to say, sir.
Okay.
2 activities.
The number, how many times I have given you the expedition procedure?
Sir, how many times? I'm sorry, sir.
I have given you the expedition, that is correct பண்ணு சொல்லிட்டு உங்ககிட்ட அந்த ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டியை கொடுக்குறது. And boys and girls, I am wrapping the session in 2 minutes because the meeting. So we are cutting down here. Answer this quickly.
Yes, sir. Sir, like totally, sir. Yes, sir. Totally, I think it was around 8 to 9 times, sir.
"13 times I have given you the expedition, out of which 6 times in online alone. Out of the 13 times, 4 times because of Keshav Narayanamurthy. He is your best buddy. 2 times because of Nagalan. 1 time because of Kirtana, that you rightly mentioned now. And 2 times because of Ritan. And get your Mitra, get your meeting link. No, get it in the laptop. So Ritan Nitish kuda, adukapra inno oru idula Vedavarsan, not Vedavarsan, Kiran, your sister Kiran. So 13
yes, sir, noble activities, sir.
Yeah, correct.
Kiran.
My question is, இவ்வளவு நேரம் நல்லா பண்ணிட்டு ஸ்லாக் ஓவர்ஸ்ல ஏன் தடுமாறு? What's going on? Sure. One last question and then I'm saying bye to everybody. The last question is, when was the last time you were galloed with bonus. At the same time, you are galloed with minus as well. Which activity? நீ எவ்வளவு போனஸ் வாங்கினியோ அப்பயே நான் சொல்லிட்டு நீ இவ்வளவு போனஸ் வாங்கியிருக்க அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி நீ மைனஸ் வாங்கிற அப்படின்ட்டு நீ தனியா இல்லாம you're not alone but you are jeopardized and your efforts were completely inundated because of the other people's characteristics faults. Which activity was it?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, it was an activity called Mr. Inner Demon, sir, where in the first round he gave me 94 points, sir, inclusive of bonus. And then on the first day, we were pretty much at the top, sir. We were a team of doctors, sir. And then on the second day, what happened was one of our teammates jeopardized everything, sir. And because of that, you gave us a lot of minuses, sir. But we patched up everything in the next round, sir, where we could create scenarios of our own and we could be the inner demon for you, sir. Where I created, again, you gave bonus as well, sir, for this one, where you were a football player, sir, playing for Manchester United, and I was your inner demon, sir. And this was one of the activities where this happened, sir.
Amanda, it was very simple. I asked a question to Kalpita and Kalpita mentioned. It was in every team for itself in which you and Kalpita won. It was where I gave you the bonus and also I gave you the penalty. And I made a parent complaint too. I told mom, yes, of course. You know, in the inner demon exercise, you were only given the bonus. In the inner demon exercise, I gave you 57 bonus, and I penalized you for about 14 marks or 15 marks. But here in this particular activity, I gave 100 marks minus for you and Kalpita, and then I gave as much number of bonus as well.
Yes, sir. Since you said bonus first, sir, I thought initially I got bonus and then minus, sir. That's why I went to inner demon thing, sir.
I see. Okay. Okay, so I am supposed to cut down here because 6 o'clock there is a monkey in my house and that monkey's school has got a parents meeting. Parents meeting, I never allow anybody to intrude my session. So அதுக்கு நான் போயிட்டு வந்துடுறேன். நீங்க இப்போதைக்கு வெளியில போங்க. 7 o'clock முடிஞ்சோனே ஒரு 10 minutes மட்டும் session வைக்க முடியுமான்னு பார்ப்போம். Shall we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, but I have a class at 7:15, sir.
No problem, Dakshin. நான் மீட்டிங்கை முடிச்சுட்டு குரூப்ல பேசுறேன். என்னங்கறத பார்த்து முடிவு பண்ணிக்கிறோம். இல்லாட்டி Dakshin's final questions and Mitra's hard share will be tomorrow. இனிமே தான் ஆரம்பிக்குது அவனுக்கு. Good job, Dakshin, so far.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, Dakshin.
Well done, Dakshin Anna.
Thank you, Brinda. Thank you, Vishnupriya.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am in the நான் இவ்வளவு சீக்கிரமா எல்லாம் முடிக்கவே மாட்டேன். So, Mitra, Dakshin's mom, I know you're watching. Aswathaman, Brinda, Kalpita, Sibi Adityan, Mirdubashni, Ritanitish, Sanjay, Vishnupriya. Thank you so much for your cooperation and we will speak at 7 o'clock. Bye-bye. Keep shining the strong.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye, sir.
Bye,
Bye.
thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, everyone.